Happy Wednesday, you beautiful, gorgeous people. You are watching Smell the Coffee with Dana Master and Glenn Norashipura. How you doing, my babes?
I'm good. It's Women Crush Wednesday.
Of
and who are we crushing on today?
Ourselves. Duh. Duh. Like, have you seen us?
Like,
Hello. Like, just having us in your vicinity is a blessing. You should say thank you. You guys get to look at us for free. Well, maybe not for free if you're paying for your DSTV and GoTV, but you get to look at us for free.
you know, there's somebody that I was having lunch with, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm the gift. here.
Yeah.
The presence.
Yes.
My presence is the gift.
Yes, I am the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes.
And anybody would be lucky to recognize that. Yeah.
There's a girl who said, come on, she doesn't need to be good in bed. Come on, just the fact that the guy is having sex with her is a good sex.
You know, yesterday I was having a discussion.
Yeah.
I was on a group call with my brother and my sister. And I was like, you guys, I'm so heartbroken. They're like, mm-mm. So it's always so interesting because both of them are older than me. My sister is, trying to be like, yeah, no, for real what he did, My brother's like, but Dana, you broke your own heart there, like he's now trying to give me the male perspective. And now my sister and I are ganging up against him. Like, no, you don't do that, whatever. And then he just goes, you know what, clearly I am not going to win this argument. Right now, because my older sister then says, right now what Dana just wants to hear is that this guy is a douchebag, he is wrong, and that's it. And then after that, I was like, but what if I want him back? They're like, Dana,
And that's the thing. I know I'll be mad at you if you go back or what have you, but I also understand. Because we've been there.
Yeah.
So if you see me with my ex, while I said I will never go back to him.
Mind your business.
Mind your business.
Okay? Mind
I
your
know what
business.
I'm doing. I know what I'm
Better
doing.
the Satan that I know than the devil I don't. Because, no, man.
I still stand by this advice. Go back till your heart is done. Till the moment you hear their name, you're like, oh.
Go
Go back till your heart is like, I'm done. I'm done. There's no more left.
I think it needs to get to a point where you're just detached.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
my sister was saying, obviously, if you hate someone, that's
Still-
love.
That's still a form of
Love.
emotional entanglement. with
Yes,
the person.
because also you wouldn't hate a person that you don't love. Because hate is the opposite of love. And I was like, wow, okay. And she says you just need to get to a point where you're indifferent.
That's why I'm saying, home girl, if you come here and Nathan,
And I'm like, Claire!
and you're there on the phones with that other voice.
If
I'll
it
be
was you
like-
calling me, I'm like, huh? What is this voice? Because I went, I'm even embarrassed. I was like, mm-mm. So imagine this is how we normally talk. And I'm like, hello? Hi.
It was so I was just like, whose voice is that? What voice is that?
I was so embarrassed because
guys-
you really called me out.
Yes, because what voice is that? What is that? When you talk to me, she's like, yo, girl. I'm like, but what
Who is this princess? From where? Where did the gangster go? Where did the thug go? Yeah, you're hard. No, guys. Like, what dizziness is age.
But dizziness is nice, guys.
It's nice.
Oh,
and
it's nice. I feel like you can even, while you're dizzy, let's do this life hack. While you're dizzy, that trial period of a man, when you're just
Yeah,
like,
the 3-month
voila,
trial period,
the
yeah.
flowers, the what, use that energy to manifest what you actually want. Because your vibration is high. Do you get what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay.
You are already there on cloud 9. So during that time, you're just like, I'm a goddess.
yeah.
I make so and so money, whatever. Use that period. So by the time the heartbreak comes, you are like, you're making mad bang. So it's not even that bad.
It's not even that bad,
Yeah.
right? Because I saw somebody that said, God, if I'm meant to be single, then at least give me 2 people's income as a salary.
Exactly.
Like, you must make up for it somehow. Yeah, and also just the other day, right, I was thinking to myself, I actually lost my train of thought. As you were speaking, I was like, I need to say something, but then I totally forgot. But we were talking about ChatGPT earlier and how we have all these prompts and whatever. And I don't know if a lot of you guys actually know this, but because of ChatGPT and because of AI, we are actually running really, really low on water, because what happens is they need water to cool down these systems. So, you know, that little prompt that you put, like, you know, to write one email, I think it was about 500 ml bottles or something like that.
Yeah.
Just Google how much water AI uses and then you'll see. So even now when you generate the image, I was so upset when I saw this trend on Instagram of everybody generating images of what chat thinks they do.
Yeah, something like that.
You know,
yeah,
so you
I remember,
input,
yeah.
okay, I am Diana, or basically because you use ChatGPT on a regular, chat already knows everything about you.
Yeah, generate an image.
Generate an image based on what you know about me, and then it's generating these images. And you would know if you have tried to generate an image on ChatGPT that it takes ages, especially if you're using the free version, because it'll tell you millions of other users are generating images at the same time. So we are just slowly running low on water, and we're like, ha ha ha, but it's a cute Instagram trend.
So don't respond thank you, guys.
Don't respond thank you to ChatGPT. You say thank you, chat, boom, 10 liters gone.
Because chat needs to respond back.
Chat needs to respond back. Come on, you're welcome, babe.
Let me know if you need anything.
Let me know
it
if
can
you
never
need
leave you.
anything.
It can never
Chat
leave you.
can never
It can never leave you alone. Yesterday I was like, it's a chat, stop this. Like I asked it for advice.
Yeah.
And then it just kept on coming. So how would you feel if the
If-
person did? I'm like, chat, these are
Let
hypothetical
me
scenarios
go.
that you're throwing in my head now.
Let me go.
Let me go.
Speaking of ChatGPT, let's get into our meme of the day.
First, breathe. That guilt is a sign that you care. That's worth something. And the fact that you're reflecting on this, that's growth. What defines you isn't the plot twist. It's the character development arc. Are you learning? Considering therapy? That's accountability. That's evolution. You're not a bad person. You're a season 1 protagonist who made a questionable decision and is setting up for a redemption arc. And honestly,
Season 1 villain.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Honestly speaking,
You're gonna tell me you are a season 1 villain who's setting up for a redemption arc. I'm just
Yes.
like, excuse me, Chad.
not my chat though. One thing about my chat.
That's also, how do people get chat to respond to them like that? Because mine also calls me out.
Mine calls me out. I was
A
like,
lot.
so babes, I had this dream, and chat is like, because it's your subconscious. I'm like, no, it's because I'm intuitive.
And he's like, no.
And Chad is like,
I'm gonna
no.
hold your hand gently.
I'm gonna hold your hand gently when I say this, Diana. I'm like, oh,
Why are you hurting my
you
feelings?
are a bot. You're not even a human being. And Chad is like, no.
Come on, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Let's
but
not get ahead of-
Oh my word! I actually need to learn how to what the prompt is, so that the chat agrees with everything I say, because my chat.
No, with
Nice.
mine, I wanted to be honest with me. I wanted to be extremely honest. Like,
Right.
listen,
It
bro.
needs to guess me up, man. It needs to guess me up. It's like, yeah, they were all wrong. You know what I mean?
I said to Chat, this man is a manipulator. Chat said, because you saying he's a manipulator helps you heal. Because now you have a villain to blame. You have somewhere to redirect your anger. But let's look at it carefully, Diana. If he was a manipulator... Whose ChatGPT are you? You are my ChatGPT.
Are you working for him or me?
Or me? What double agent Satan details are these? What is going on? What is happening?
But there's some really good advice that I got from Chad.
Yes.
And then I'm kind of grateful for it, especially when I'm just like in a little, I don't know what to do here. And then like, yeah, don't text back again. Like, you know what I mean? It tells me things like that.
Respect yourself, my
Respect
sister.
yourself. Let's not do that again.
That's me right now. Like, you know, there are obviously moments and urges and whatever. My thing is I just think respect yourself. Respect yourself. There was a screenshot that was shared. So it's basically between two people, and this person said to the other person, because I don't know who's who, I miss you. And then the person just responded, respect yourself, with a question mark. I said, whoa! I would never. And then I went to my one toxic friend, my one friend that I know is toxic, and he was like, yeah, but respect yourself. I said, woo! Because I said to him, this sounds like something that you would say. He's like, yeah, but as a person, why are you not respecting yourself? I've made it very clear that I don't want you, and you're still
and
here
you're
like,
still
I miss
here.
you.
What is this?
What is this? Respect. I said, oh, it wasn't even like respect yourself. It was like question mark. Like, do you even respect yourself? What about respecting yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, I would never recover from that.
decency, some
Yo.
form of
But anyway, we do have quite the show for you today. Today we are talking some very interesting take on dating, and we are curious to find out what you guys think. I'm even curious to find out what Glenn thinks about what we are going to share today. So stick around, we'll be right back. Now, a new China dating trend emerges where people refer exes to new prospects, akin to job referrals. Young Chinese people have created a new dating trend called ex-partner referrals, in which they treat former lovers like job candidates. The young people share detailed profiles, personal feedback, and previous relationship usage reports with strangers online to help navigate the risks of modern dating. The trend reportedly began on social media after a viral post asked for an internal referral for a boyfriend. The viral post read, "Can any sisters refer me to their ex? I really do not understand why dating is so hard. If I do not find a normal guy soon, I might need to start drinking herbal medicine to rebalance myself." Viewers flooded the comment sections and pitched their ex-partners like seasoned human resources recruiters or salespeople. One netizen from Jilin province in northeastern China replied, "How about my current boyfriend? If we break up, I will let you know. He is actually quite generous." Some took these referrals as seriously as job recommendations. To boost credibility, others even cited references in an academic style. Based on 3 years of first-hand experience, one viewer wrote, "The phrase referring your ex quickly went viral, sparking a wave of posts." Some even joked that the trend has become so popular it feels like stumbling into a second-hand marketplace where exes are treated like pre-owned goods, complete with detailed evaluations of their quality, appearance, and emotional mileage. The referral format also resembles a resume, presenting personal details in a structured manner. Now, helpful online sisters have even drafted a user manual for ex-boyfriends for his potential new partners to reference at any time. In a more bizarre variation, some even go to great lengths to persuade others to marry their own husband. "I can refer my husband to you if needed. I am willing to divorce him. My kid is grown up. I don't need him anymore. He is perfect for someone who wants kids but doesn't have time to raise them. He's pretty good with children, has a 120 square meter flat in Beijing, works from home, does household chores, and my in-laws are quite old, probably will not be around in a few years. If you think he's a good fit, I can divorce him right away." Even more surprising is the fact that some people have actually succeeded in finding a partner using this method. One netizen shared that a girl from the same city, after amicably breaking up with her boyfriend before moving abroad, recommended him to others online. After meeting her ex, the netizen found that they turned out to be a great match. Now, the driving force behind this emerging trend in China stems from a profound lack of trust in today's dating landscape. Many young single people worry they might encounter scammers, pickup artists, manipulators, or cheaters on dating apps, especially those who use too many filtered photographs or exaggerate their job titles. As a result, people increasingly prefer second-hand partners who have proven themselves in past relationships rather than gambling on an untested and brand new romance.
For me, it's the emotional mileage, guys.
Yes, emotional mileage. How does he respond to conflict?
But I have to say, with this trend, there is some truths that I agree to. Because sometimes, Diana, I meet Patrick, for instance. We fall in love.
Yeah.
We are together for 5 years. Maybe he was meant to be in my life for a season, right? Maybe it was supposed to be a year or two. And now we are like together, we are married for 10 years. And I'm just tired of Patrick. Patrick is tired of me, but we're staying together for the kids, what have you, right?
Yeah.
This is like that lady, what she said, like the kids are already old.
Like, I don't need him anymore.
I don't need him anymore. We have done our time together.
Oh, done our time is so crazy. Why are you making it sound like a jail
I
sentence?
think so. Because sometimes we're stuck with people that are supposed to be a season. And this
Yes.
person is supposed to be a forever for Diana. Now I'm holding on to Patrick.
You're holding on to Patrick when Patrick is meant to be for Diana. Like,
Exactly.
stop being selfish.
Patrick-
Refer your people,
Patrick
guys.
was supposed to be with me for 2 years, and now I'm here holding him for, you know
You're
what I mean?
holding him hostage.
Exactly.
Stop holding our husbands hostage.
There's a girl who said she went on a date, right, with a guy. And then she was just like, it didn't feel quite right.
Yeah.
They could gel or whatever, but it just didn't feel right intuitively.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I don't think you and I are gonna work out, but I have a friend. And then she set them up on a date, and they got married, and it was happily ever after. But I'm just saying, do you understand those scenarios? Somebody who's meant for you could be in something with someone else.
That's why I'm saying, release our husbands, release people's wives. If you know you don't plan on marrying this woman, release her. Because she's somebody's ideal type.
Exactly.
One man's headache, me, can also be another man's peace, me, depending on how you treat me. You never know. But this is just what we're saying. Like, at the end of the day, release people, right? Refer people. Put your friends on, colleagues. But anyway, that does bring us to the end of our top stories. Now, right after this, we are talking all things NSSR. Yes, that's right. The National Secondary Schools Rugby is back. And we get to find out all about that right about now.
We are joined in studio by Jannie de Beer, the Vice Chair of the NSSR, and we are going to talk about the exciting league. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, Nora. Yeah, lovely. Thank you for the invite. It's nice to be here.
Yes, I'm quite excited. I think off air I asked how soon, is it too late for me to join the rugby club? And you said I can actually join. So I'm quite excited to hear that sports is for everyone.
Exactly. Well, there's a massive focus on women rugby as we speak at this stage, especially from World Rugby side. But it didn't take post, it's only starting off in Namibia now.
Now, speaking of the NSSR, which is an exciting league for athletes and supporters alike, why is this a valuable league for Namibia and school sports?
I think it's all about opportunities for the players. Those boys, there's a massive focus on, I would think, for Namibia to qualify for the World Cup again. I think there's going to be, for us specifically from a high school point of view, it's very important that we put a lot of focus in that regard and make sure that we create opportunities for our players to be seen, and then obviously for them to get some exposure. And it's always been like that. Kids in general, they love playing rugby and they always want to give it their best shot. So for them to be able to play this game, and it's a wonderful game. It's all been part of our lives, mine specifically as well. And to have an opportunity to play and to give those boys opportunity to explore their talent and to get selected for national teams, that's the main focus. And hopefully it will be one step towards Namibia qualifying for the World Cup again.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear. What are some notable achievements or milestones that you have encountered in the league?
Well, I think we spoke about it. We're very happy that Momentum is on board again as one of the sponsors. I think that's massive, and they've always been part of high school rugby, and it's been sponsors for many years. So, and I think there's some legends that came through the game over the years. Has been part of the Momentum Rugby League, and now with MyZone, involvement, it's just very, very exciting. And to have them back, I think that is a massive achievement as far as that is concerned. And I want to congratulate MyZone's involvement in making it possible.
I love that that they are involved. Now, what can we expect in this year's season in terms of sporting action or anything that you are doing differently this year?
Yeah, there was one or two suggestions that maybe we change the league somehow, and one of the things that actually came into the fore, we're going to have Super Saturdays this year, which I think is going to be very, very special. You'll have minimum of 2 Super League games at the same venue the same day, and that will most probably be combined with Reserve League, also under 15, under 14 games on the same premises for the same day. So I think there's even some of those games that I think there's 3, I'm not sure if there's 4 Super League games on one venue at the same day, but definitely there's minimum 2, maybe even more than that. And that is very, very exciting, because I think from a selector point of view, if you are part of the national selectors, you're going to have an opportunity to see players not only in your school environment, but also other environments, where they are playing, competing against each other on the same day. So you might be able to see 1 or 2 extra players that you never known or didn't actually see them except seeing them on national trials. So if you see them playing in their team environment, you can see this boy is maybe a good option to have a look at later. So I think that is very exciting. So we're looking forward to that. That's definitely a massive bonus this year.
How many teams will be partaking this year?
Well, last figure I've heard was, I think, there's 66 teams at this stage. So there's different leagues. You've got your Super League, which this year is also going to be massive. We've had 2 years ago we had 7 teams in a league. Last year 9 teams, and this year it's actually grown. This year it's going to be 12 teams in the Super League. So I think there's one or two or three that I've seen. I'm not going to mention any names. That's exciting, but of teams that actually are prepared to make that step. We've seen it last year with the Dynastig that actually decided to join, and they've had very, very good success. And now some of the smaller schools, if I say smaller schools, the schools that's used to be your top schools and maybe your second league or reserve league, and competing for the B League final, etc. Those teams are prepared to step up, which is great. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. I think, to answer your question, at this stage we over 60 teams that gets into the league.
That's quite an impressive number. Now, speaking of development, what can you tell us about the growth of the league in terms of developing sporting talent and getting people together for the love of the sport?
I think from a development point of view, the reserve league is maybe something that's very interesting, because the reserve league is in that league, there's 21 teams in that league. So they will be competing against each other. Some of the teams will find it difficult, especially during the league, because they might not be as strong as some of the bigger schools playing in that same league, but that's just round 1. So what happens technically in the league, you've got a north and a south pool. So there's 21 teams. So say, for example, 10 teams north and 11 south, for example. And then the top 6 teams will be divided. Your first, the team that ends first and second will play, in the northern region will play the southern region. First, the team that end top, say number 1, will play number 2, in the southern league, and then 3 and 4 will play against each other, and 5 and 6. So during that time, the teams will sort themselves out, and then it will be more, strength against strength. So from a development point of view, some of those teams that maybe not up there yet, it's going to be tough for them, but it's good for them for development purposes.
Yeah.
But eventually, when they get to the playoff stage, they'll be able to measure themselves if they are good enough, and then they can still win a league, which is great. So that's one thing. I do know there's groups from South Africa. Not everybody, is always keen on that, but I think it's a good thing. That is prepared to travel through Namibia from the south all the way through to the north, and maybe present rugby clinics, just for the rugby development, which I think is very good. But just having said that, I must admit we've got really very good coaches in Namibia as well, and people that really putting the effort in as far as development is concerned. To see if we can drive rugby forward in Namibia.
And I think now people are wondering, when do the games officially kick off, and how can myself and the viewers, show support to the league?
Well, to show support, that's easy. You just get involved. You phone any of them from MyZone, and from a sponsorship point of view, because it's money that makes the world go around. So if people can get involved financially, it's always a massive benefit. But having said that, just being at the games and supporting is great. I think that's the main thing. But as far as the starting date, that is a tough one. We do have a date in mind, and everybody was key. Yeah, this is when we're going to start. I actually spoke this morning to Morné Rust, which is our secretary, and he said, so many teams entering the league, which is very exciting, but it makes it difficult because the period in which you wanted to, play the league is now so condensed that it's tough, especially. If you prepare for 7, 8 Super League teams and suddenly you've got 12 of them. So you can imagine now you have to adapt that. But the early indication was the first week of June will be the start of the league. But I'm not going to commit to that. Nobody can at this stage. We'll probably know more in the next week or so. But it's most probably going to start maybe earlier because of the amount of teams that it's actually into the league, which is very, very exciting.
No, I'm quite excited, and I will definitely be at one of the matches cheering on for I don't know what, but you'll be guiding me and telling me, that's what's happening now.
No, Nora, one of the matches is not good enough. You've got to be at more matches.
At
because
more
that's
matches, all right.
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? I just wanted to say from our side, especially just something that just a step back last year. I remember when MyZone got involved during the semi-finals when we had our playoffs last year, the excitement that was around the brand was just amazing, and I could see that because we obviously being involved with Namibia School Rugby for such a long time, and you see it's the same story over every week. But My Zone, the sort of the opportunities that was there, marketing and just it just created a totally different atmosphere, and we've seen it last year, especially when the playoffs came. So that makes me very excited because I know the idea of the brand is to say, listen, how do we get to the rural areas and how do we get to the smaller schools and how can we give them some exposure? So that is stuff that really excites me because I think that's the way to go. Otherwise, people will not know what's going on. And to give them a platform where they can at least see what's going on. Some of the kids are in the bigger schools, some of the parents, they don't even know what their kids are doing from a sporting point of view, and to give them some access, and that's always a very, very, it's a positive, and I just want to thank My Zone for the involvement.
Well, thank you so much for giving us this insight. From us in studio, it is Tada.